What is up, my darling dear Terra Squad? How are you today? We're just gonna get into it. You know, no foreplay, no lube, hop in. So, I was giving a tarot reading to this girl, right? And the events that transpired were so friggin' ghetto. Oh, but before we get into that, I just want to let you know I'm gonna be looking down because I had to outline a little bit, had to take some notes. This happened like such a while ago, so many years ago. And also, I'm a little tipsy, so I need help. Anyway, like I actually needed help. I had to write it out, but also, yes, I do need help. Anyway, so yeah, I gave a reading to this girl. I worked with her. I was new at this job. Me and this girl, we kind of hit it off a little bit. So we're talking all the time, hanging out. She's showing me the ropes, da 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 da. And it was like, because I was so annoying at the time about just my craft and doing readings and, you know, just like I was one of those, I was just an asshole. That was like my entire personality, I feel like, at the time. It was really whack, honestly. So I end up mentioning that, you know, I do readings and shit. And so she humors me, she asks for a reading, and I'm like, okay, cool, we'll set it up. So we set it up. And mind you, at this point in time, like she's already overshared so much of her life, but she continues, right? As I'm shuffling the cards, she's telling me about like her girlfriend and their trials and tribulations in the relationship, how she used to cheat on her a lot. She cheated on her with a girl that worked at the job, and the girlfriend came up, beat everyone's ass, right? She's living off the girlfriend. She's driving around a girlfriend's car. She's driving the girlfriend's car to go cheat. But she's so past that. She's so past that. It's not her anymore. They're so in love. You know, they do lovey couple things. It's all good, right? Oh, I forgot to mention, she also told me how her girlfriend was a bruja and was into witchcraft. And she's like, oh yeah, my girlfriend does readings. So I'm like totally used to people like giving me readings and da da da, all that other good stuff. And I'm just like, okay. And her girlfriend, like her energy came up and it was so intense. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, to this day, I still can't describe it. But when I say, like, she was on some, like, priestess mode type shit. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I'm like, But when I am, like, pulling her cards, one of them that came up, just, like, reading her energy, was the Page of Wands. And mind you, this ain't no past, present, future-ass reading. Like, and, you know, I'm not saying that, like, those are bad readings. I love those. But it's, like, that's not what we were doing here. So this isn't stale energy. She was trying to convince me that, you know, this was old, or like this is something that, you know, like I'm picking up that was from the past. And I'm just like, no, sweetheart, like I'm literally getting like, you smell like the streets, bitch. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Like, you actively have like this energy on you. Like, you still are pimping out here. So she's like just non-convinced, and she essentially tells me that like I'm making it up, or like I'm just, you know, lying, da, da, da. And I'm just kind of thinking to myself, like, the fuck I gotta lie for it? You know what I'm saying? Like, of all the things, I'm like, I don't know you, I have nothing for you or against you or your relationship or your situationship, you know what I'm saying? So I just thought that was kind of ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie, my ego was extremely bruised because I, again, was very extreme about my craft. And also, like, Scorpio, I don't like being wrong. So, yeah, I was, like, not having none of the shenanigans. So I was just arguing with her for a good 5-10 minutes. I don't know how long, honestly. And that was, for real, for one, unprofessional. Two, it was, like, for what? Like, again, if you're an intuitive, or if you're, like, you know, like, gifted, and that I feel like everyone is a little bit psychic, but you know what I'm saying, like if you are tapping into your craft and all that good stuff, like you should just have that confidence that, you know, what you feel is what you feel, what you know is what you know, da da da, and you don't have to convince anyone, even if it is someone you're giving a reading to. Because honestly, a lot of people that you're going to give readings to are going to deny the things that you say because it's stuff that they don't want to hear, and their cognitive dissonance just kicks in, and like they rather say that you're lying, because if they have to tell themselves the truth, like it's going to like break their whole like reality. Anyway, so I end up just letting her have it. I'm like, you know what, I could be wrong. And at the time too, like even though I was so serious about my craft, like I was still kind of like technically like a newbie. I don't know. I hate putting like those type of labels on shit, but just for the sake of context, I guess. Like I'm not like a excuse me, seasoned like witch, I guess. Either way. So where were we? Oh yeah. So I end up telling her, I'm just like, okay, well, it could have been like the Page of Wands could also represent like a new passion project or hobby or something that you're like getting interested in or something like that. And she's like, okay, yeah, no, that sounds about right. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, that sounds right, but honestly, you didn't tell me anything else. And I find that very strange because you've been oversharing with me. And granted, I was oversharing a little bit with her as well. And so, anyway, so she was oversharing with me this entire time. And I'm like, you're just casually not going to say anything about this new passion project or hobby? Suspicious. So I was like, okay, I'm going to leave that alone. Fast forward, right? The job, they get us some catering, right? And so I make me a plate. I go outside to the little patio area and I start eating my food. Big Angie's out there, but I'm not paying her any attention when I first came out because she was on the phone. So I didn't like pick up on nothing on her or nothing like that, right? So when I had came out, like I sat down like next to her. Well, no, I was across from her. And I just started smelling rotten eggs. And I'm like checking my food because I'm like, okay, maybe something went bad or whatever, you know, because this job's cheap as fuck. So they probably got some bullshit and ass catering. Excuse me. I start asking other people, I'm like, you got eggs? Do you have eggs? Like, I'm smelling. Then I'm like, I'm smelling eggs. Nobody's smelling eggs. And everyone's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I was just like, okay, no. Because it wasn't just like a gust of wind picked up and I just got a whiff of eggs and then it was gone. All right. It was like stamped there. And so at some point I look up at Big Ange and like her eyes are like, they just look off. They look kind of glossy, like kind of sunk in. She has like this black, like sludgy, like soot shit around her aura or whatever. Like she tried to hand me something. I'm like, I'm not touching that. And I'm not even joking. I'm not being dramatic when I say that. I was like something, like, I'm not touching it. You don't need to hand me shit. Like I could have been on fire and she could have been handing me a bottle of water. I wouldn't have touched that shit. I'm not joking with you. Like the vibe that was coming off of her entire being. I'm like, look, shouldn't have cheated on your bruja girlfriend, bitch. Like, all right. So real shit, she was cheating. And she was cheating on her girlfriend. She was cheating on her girlfriend with another girl at work. Everybody knew about it at some point. There was this whole moment where they like came like out as a couple together. Like, I mean, not like came out, they were already out, but like they like was, you know, made it official for everybody. Like, hey, we're dating. So that happened. What else happened? Hold on. I told you I had to look down. Like the liquor is hitting. So yeah, so that happened. And I confronted her when like they had their little moment. And I'm just like, bruh, like, why'd you tell me like that I was wrong if you knew that you were cheating? Like, why would you do that? She's like, well, you know, the side piece, I don't want to really, she don't really need a name unless we might have to get into more videos, honestly. We might have to get into more story times about just this place, especially about them. Like this whole situation, when I say it was ghetto, it was ghetto. I'm not about to go there. I just remember something I didn't want to. And I kind of like, I'm like, I shouldn't be the only one carrying this memory. Like somebody needs to know what happened in this bathroom and it shouldn't have to just be me. Anyway, so, yeah, so she's like, the side piece didn't want me to like say anything. She didn't want anyone to know at the time. So you wanted me to just tell you that you were telling the truth and betray her and, you know, betray her trust and act like that. And I'm just like, yeah, because my ego hurt. Like, I'm sorry. Once you bruise my ego, like there's just few ways that you can come back from that. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm weak. I'm weak as hell. Like that really hurt my feelings. I'm not gonna lie. So again, at the time, because like I just took my craft so seriously, like it was just, I had that whole stick up butt syndrome, I feel. But yeah, I was about to say I'm cool now. I'm like, I hope I'm cool now. I hope I'm a lot better now. Like One could only dream, right? I've only, do shadow work for these reasons to improve, but who really knows? So anyway, what had happened in like a month's time, because again, so that whole moment with the smelling the sulfur and her looking crazy and her whole vibe being off and all that good shit, that continued. She got kicked out the girlfriend spot. She lost the job, and she crashed and totaled the new girlfriend's car. And it was just a hot mess. And also, they was trying to be cute and stunt on the ex, so they took like a little vacation and was posting the pictures and spent so much money on that, so there was no real money like saved up for like to replace the car. And also, I think the new girlfriend paid for most of that vacation, so the big end, she was actually indebted to her side chick like a couple $1,000s. So yeah, again, shouldn't have cheated on your brew hot girlfriend. But I also want to say though, I know these events sound really like, I don't know, maybe they sound random to you, right? Maybe they sound like they have zero correlation, and that's fine. I respect that. Like, do you? In my opinion though, I feel, especially considering the whole sulfur moment and the da-da-da-da, the vibes, all that good stuff, I think that there was something more there. Obviously, that's why I'm making this video. But I just wanted to say, like, when it comes to hexing, cursing, like whatever you want to call it, I just call it like throwing juju. You know what I'm saying? Like, throwing bad juju. When you're doing some type of nefarious work like that, or somebody's doing it on you rather, however you get it, it might be like random. Like, it might be the whole like, oh, a piano just fell on you out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? But it's really the mind fuckery that is the juju. You know what I'm saying? So it's not so much the event of the piano falling on you. It's so much as like you taking a new route home, right? You walking home or something like that, and instead of going left, you go right, and this is the first time you've ever went right, that like walking home, and all this, there's a piano there and just falls on you. Like somebody's moving the piano and it just hits the top of your head. That's really what it is. It's the mind, like, I don't want to say mind game, but it's like kind of like the rewiring of your subconscious or your brain a little bit, and causing you to do ridiculous things when you're usually good with your money, but then you end up spending or overspending on a vacation just to flex on your ex, and then you end up crashing and can't pay for a car. Like little things like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, again, you want more details? You want me to tell you what went on in the bathroom? Do you like, you want more story times about this, or any like other witchy things that I guess I've experienced? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Questions, comments, concerns, let me know. Learn and grow, go for 2 Fs. Bye.